The Volkswagen Golf GTI, one of the most legendary cars ever created, should have never existed. Because in the early 1970s, Volkswagen's leadership believed a sporty compact car was a terrible idea. But in offices, garages, and test tracks across Wolfsburg, Germany, a handful of young engineers secretly built a forbidden prototype that would change automotive history. They worked without permission, they borrowed parts they weren't supposed to touch, and they were inspired by cars Volkswagen wanted to ignore. This is the full, unbelievable story of how the GTI began, not in a boardroom, but in the minds of rebels. Wolfsburg, 1971. Volkswagen is facing one of the biggest crises in its history. The legendary Beetle, the Type 1, is losing popularity fast. Sales across Europe are dropping, and competition from Japan and France is rising. Volkswagen desperately needs a new direction. They make a bold choice. They hired Giorgetto Giugiaro, the Italian design genius from Ital Design in Turin. Giugiaro creates something completely different, a modern front-wheel drive hatchback with sharp geometric lines. That car becomes the Volkswagen Golf, launched in 1974, but something about the Golf's shape catches attention. It looks like it could handle more power than expected, and that idea sparks a secret movement inside VW. The GTI was created by a small group of determined engineers. The key names are Alfons Lovenberg, chassis engineer, loved spirited driving, admired BMW 2002 Tii and Alfa Romeo handling. Herbert Schuster, suspension specialist, spent days testing cars on Ehra-Lessien, VW's high-speed proving ground near Wolfsburg. Gunter Wimmer, engine developer, noticed that the Audi 80 GT's 1.6-liter fuel-injected engine could fit inside a Golf. These men believed a lightweight, powerful hatchback could change everything, but leadership said no every time. So the engineers began meeting unofficially after work. No schedules, no approvals, just pure creativity. Volkswagen never publicly admitted it, but several European cars influenced the GTI idea. Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud, agile front-wheel drive BMW 2002 Tii, punchy engine and a compact body, Mini Cooper S, everyday performance car, Peugeot 104 ZS, early sporty small car concept. These cars showed the engineers what a fun compact car could be. They didn't want to copy them, they wanted to create something better. While the production Golf Mk1 goes public, the unofficial GTI team works inside Building 7 at the Wolfsburg plant. They begin assembling a completely new version of the Golf, 1.6 EA827 fuel-injected engine from Audi 80 GT, Bosch K-Jetronic mechanical injection, reinforced gearbox lower, firmer suspension, modified steering geometry, lightweight interior. Night after night, they take the prototype to the Ehra-Lessien test track. The car feels alive, fast, nimble, confident. But they still have one major problem. No one at VW has approved the project. If leadership finds out, the entire idea dies instantly. Spring 1975, the team decides it's time to reveal their creation, but carefully. They invite VW manager Tony Schmucker for a routine test drive. They don't tell him what's special about the car. Schmucker sits behind the wheel, turns the key, drives off. And in seconds, he realizes something is different. The Golf accelerates harder than any small car should. It corners sharply. It responds instantly. Schmucker steps out, surprised, and asks, "What exactly am I driving?" The engineers admit, "It's a performance version of the Golf we've been working on." After a long pause, Schmucker says, "This is the direction Volkswagen needs." And just like that, the GTI becomes an official project. Now that the project is approved, the next challenge is design. The red grille stripe, a simple idea by Herbert Schuster. A sports car needs a recognizable face. The golf ball gear knob created as a playful reference to the car's name. Tartan plaid seats, Schottenkaro, designed by Gunhild Liljeqvist, inspired by textiles she saw in Munich. They become one of the GTI's defining features. The engineers and designers create a visual identity that is sporty, bold, and instantly recognizable, without being expensive. The GTI inspires an entirely new class of vehicles. Peugeot 205, GTI, Ford Escort, XR3i, Renault 5, Alpine Turbo Honda Civic Sight, everyone wants to compete, but none capture the original GTI magic. The GTI becomes a cultural icon across Europe, on Berlin streets, on mountain passes in Austria, on the Nürburgring in London, nightlife, in magazines and posters. It becomes a symbol of youth, freedom, and speed. Through every generation, MK1, MK2, MK3, MK4, MK5, MK6, MK7, MK8, the GTI evolves. More power, better handling, modern technology, but the philosophy never changes. A GTI must always be fun to drive. Even in an era of electrification, the GTI remains one of the most recognized performance badges in the world.